What is up, guys? Brandon aka Drip back with another video. In today's video I have Invoked Matica Dolls. This deck, this profile compared to the last one you've seen me do, the difference is this one's more of the, I guess you can say, pure variant, as of where the other one was just Invoked Matica and it just makes Winda. So this one is more, this is like pretty much Invoked Shaddoll, but it has Dogmatika in it too. This deck is actually really nuts. This is like the deck that I plan on playing competitively this format, because this deck is ridiculous. I'm obsessed with the Dogmatika engine as it is. If you couldn't tell already, we finally got her. We got a play set of her. You'll see her two sisters here in a minute. The reason why she's in the case is because she's going to stay in the case until I update the profile where it's just Invoked Matica, which you'll see that soon enough. But anyways, back to this one. To compare the two, I say this one utilizes the Shaddoll engine more, as where the other one just plays defensively. This is more versatile, as where the other one is defensive and it wants to play more hand traps, slow your opponent down, and just OTK or beat them down. Both of them are good, honestly. Both are good. My personal opinion, I think this route is actually cheaper and is kind of the route I would like to take. I want to take unless like the format changes and I need to play a bunch of hand traps, because this one plays less hand traps is where the other one plays more hand traps, if that makes sense. But I like this build better. It's just based on Shaddolls and based on Invoked and just fusion summoning and using those cards to pretty much slow the game down and outgrind most opponents. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this video. Again, this deck profile. We'll keep her in frame. She's got to stay in frame. And then I'll zoom in a little bit so y'all can see. Alright. Started off, I am only running 2 Alistair himself. That's it. You want to search him. I know a lot of people play 3. What's going to win you games mostly is your Shaddoll cards, honestly, and your Dogmatika cards. Yes, your Invoke cards can win you games too, but my personal opinion, the Dogmatika and definitely Shaddoll cards is where you're going to win your games. On top of that, you will see this card as often as you want. Anyways, I see him a lot. Even I run him at 2. When I run him at 2, I still feel like I see him at 3, honestly. So you'd rather search him out. Outside the invocations and the meltdowns, this is all we run for the Invoked engine. Moving on to the Dogmatika part of the deck. We only run 2 Ecclesia. She is Bay. I know a lot of people run 1. I run 2 because I like to see her, because if you don't see, like, a lot of problems with the Shaddoll cards is if you don't see a Shaddoll, any kind of fusion and any Shaddoll cards, you can't get into your combos. But if you see her and Nadir Servant, you can still end them pretty much the same board, honestly. So you want to, I like seeing her more than I don't like seeing her. So if you draw her and Nadir Servant, it's pretty much you're going to make the same board if you go untouched. So we got 2 Ecclesia. Yeah, what we got the playset, DD fan. We got it, boys. We got them. Then we run 1 Fleur. And yes, I'm trash and I run Maximus. The reason why I run Maximus, I do not care. Go ahead, run Intis. If my opponent's running Intis, go ahead, run your stupid Nova and your Maximus. Your Merkaba, okay? I really don't care. I really don't, because even if you pop my stuff or make a Merkaba, I'm still going to deal with it like I'm going to the rest of your board anyways. Because by the time I use Maximus, I already have what I need. I either have a Merkaba or I'm going to make Winda and Winda lock you anyways. Yes, wow, Merkaba can beat over Winda. Not if I have an Alistair in hand. It's not. And even if you put Winda in grave, I'm still going to get resources back if you attack over it. I'm not worried about Maximus, honestly. The only one that I would side this out on is the Mirror Match. That's it. This card adds way too much consistency to not play it at this very moment, in my personal opinion. I've tried playing it without it, and I've tried playing it with it, and I window lock my opponents more so with it than I do without it, more consistently. Yes, because like there's times where you just, for some reason, you just don't draw Shaddoll cards, whether it's the fusion cards or the monsters. So this card gets you to your Shaddoll cards, this card gets you to your window. So you want to get to window as fast as you can with this deck, and this card gets you there. Because at the end of the day, even if you get to your window plays before you see Maximus, you don't have to play Maximus. He's just in your deck to help you get to window. And if you get to window without it, then you don't need to use it until you want to go in OTK, and you just bring him out, and then along with these other two, you just buff everything up and just attack. Or you can use this to send stuff from your extra deck to pop your opponent's stuff. It helps you send other stuff to the graveyard to get more consistency. It's a consistency card. I advise playing it. That's just me. People are different. I totally understand, like I said, why people don't want to play it, but I like it, and I think you should run it, my personal opinion. Unless everything turns into Dogmatika, then maybe, yeah, you can take it out. But that's it for the Dogmatika cards. On to the Shaddoll part of the deck. We only run 2 Squamata, 2 Windy, 1 Aerial, 1 Hedgehog, 1 Beast, 1 Dragon. Ignore the fact that I haven't got the super rare Dragon yet. Ugh, I want it, but still too expensive. Jesus. I know, too expensive, and I have Starlights. I know. You don't have to hurry up and rush to the comment section to say that. But no. We run 2 Squamata because since we run the Dogmatika cards, you don't need that big of an engine for Shaddolls. 8 is perfect in my personal opinion. So the only one I would consider playing more of, honestly, is Ariel, because her banish from the graveyard effect is so nasty. So that's the only one I would even consider running more of. So, but 8 is perfect for your monster lineup. On to the hand traps. We got the best hand trap, Ash Blossom, Joy of Spring. It hits almost anything. Can't say enough. Sorry about that, guys. I hit my camera. Can't say enough. I mean, it's Ash. Ash is Ash. And then we run Gamma because Gamma does not really hurt this deck at all because it is a lot. It is light. So yes, you hear me say it in my other deck profiles that it's dead after turn 1, which it totally is. But in this deck, it's not really dead because at the end of the day, it's still light. So for a Construct or Makava, so it's perfectly fine in that regards. Sadly, that's all the hand traps we run. 6. On to the spells. We got 3 Meltdown. We don't run Terraforming. Too many Alistairs. 3 Meltdown, and is pretty much you're pretty much running 5 Alistairs. Then we got 3 of honestly probably one of the best cards, if not the best card in the deck. 3 Nadir Servant. Nadir Servant adds back from grave to hand and adds from deck to hand. It does whatever it does. It gets you your stuff and gets stuff off the board all in one. Then we got 3 Shaddoll Fusion. I see a lot of people running L Shaddoll Fusion more than this. But I think regular Shaddoll Fusion is better because at the end of the day, yes, I don't care if it can get ashed. The fact that I can fusion summon from deck is really disgusting, and I would much rather do that than only be able to fusion summon from hand or field, because hand or field is only really good after you have an established board, as of where this gets you your established board. I'm not worried about it getting ashed as much, because if this gets ashed, then you have all your other stuff that can go off. Your Nadirs, your Meltdowns, your Alistairs, your Ecclesias, everything else can go down if this gets ashed. Because if this gets ashed, then everything else can get you what this was going to get you. That's just my outlook on it. And then we got 2 Invocation. We finally got the alties, boys. Finally got the alties. Invocation. We got a 3rd one too for the other deck profile too, so be on the lookout for that. Invocation, you only need 2 in this deck. Three is too many. Definitely when you have other ways of doing stuff. So like other ways to get to it and stuff like that. So like you only need 2. 1 is not enough. 3 is just bricky. You don't need that many spells, honestly. Continuing with the spells, I'm just trying to clear room. Sadly, I still only have the supers and the ultra super polys. I'm trying to get the ultis. If you have an ultis, just hit me up in the Discord and we'll work out something. 2 super polys. Super polys just free. It's pretty much like your other hand traps. Pretty much that's why I run a low hand trap count, because this is a fusion spell on top of being a interruption all in one. And it says your opponent can respond to it, which makes it even better of a card and more fair, in my personal opinion. Dragoon, what? I don't think so. And then a necessary card, triple tax of talent. You just need 2 of them, not 3. You don't need 3. 1's not enough, really. 2's perfect. We got 1 foolish. A lot of people do not play this card, and I do not understand why. Foolish Barrel Goods in this deck is just combo. It's so disgusting. It gets you what you need. It gets you extra, extends, it does everything for you. This card is nuts. I don't know why no one plays this card in this deck. And the last spell card is literally just 1 Shaddoll Fusion. You only need 1. You really do. You really do. I don't care what anybody tells you. You only need 1. Because you can just add it back, and it's only really good for mid to late game. And yes, I understand it's a quick play spell, but at the end of the day, you are only going to really utilize that during the battle phase, or if your opponent's trying to do something to your window, you just use this and make another window or make construct or whatever else you need to make. And then the last 2 cards in the main deck is Punishment and Schism. This card is just stupid. This card is so stupid. One of the biggest reasons why I even want to play this deck is because of Schism. This card is nuts. This card just carried me through so many games and does so much for me that the only like drawback to it is the fact you can't attack directly with the monsters you fusion summon off of it. But outside of that, you fusion summon on either player's turn, and if you fusion summon the same attribute as whatever your opponent controls, you can send it to the graveyard off of Schism's effect, not destroy. Sends. Like, come on. That's so nuts. Schism is just busted. But getting on to the extra deck. Since I am running Maximus, I am still running the Almirage package. The Secure Gardener and the Almirage. If I was not running Maximus, I would probably run the Magistus Link 1, so I can make room for other extra deck cards. There's a couple of extra deck cards that I would like to run, and I'll get to more of that later, just in case if like you're not wanting to run Maximus in your build. I'll tell you what I would run if I were you in your extra deck besides what I'm already running. And then the last link in the deck is Gravity Controller. Gravity Controller is actually really solid with its secondary effect, with the bounce effect and stuff. It's really good in that regard. So that's it for the link monsters. Moving on to the fusions, pretty much the rest of the deck. For the Invoked engine, we got 1 Aquades, or whatever, however you pronounce it. I call it Aquades, don't kill me. And then 2 Macabre. That's all you need. You don't need Purg anymore, really, in this deck, because this card does whatever you need to do. Macabre is Macabre. At one point, I wanted to run Caliga, because Caliga is actually really busted. You only get 1 effect. And we run plenty of darks in here. So if you want to run Caliga, by all means, go ahead. I'll tell you what card I chose to run over Caliga, and then you can make the decision from there when I get there. That's it for the Invoke lineup, though. On to the Shaddolls, where the spice and the fun is, where all the fun is. We got 2 Construct. I really want to pick up her ultis. If someone is watching this video or knows somebody that has the ultis, let me know. Shaddoll is really bae. She really is. I wasn't really listening to you guys when y'all were saying she's bae, but like, dude, come on. She's so gross. So gross. She's literally bae. And then like Constructs Bay, and then but on top of that, we can't really forget about our side chick, bro. Winda. Oh my god, bro. Winda be putting in work for us, man. Oh my god. Winda is just Winda. I mean, the fact that it can't be destroyed by card effects comes up so much, you'd be surprised. And the fact you can bump it up with Alistair to protect it, it's just nuts. And when it goes to the graveyard, you can add back a Shaddoll spell or whatever. That's nasty. But honestly, probably outside of Construct and Winda. But then again, like I told my dudes, my friends, I tell them every time I see them that my opinion changes every day. But today, like, and when I played locals, my favorite Shaddoll card is literally Ab Cologne. I call him Al Capone. Ab Cologne is just nuts. It turns off anything. It turns off anything for the rest of the game unless it leaves the field and comes back. It adds a card from deck to hand or graveyard to hand. It like can't be destroyed by battle. Like, come on. That's just disgusting. This card like came in so clutch for me when I was playing my duel videos in my duels, that the fact that it can be destroyed by it can be destroyed by battle. So like if you summon this off of Schism, like you summon this, you turn off something, and if they control a dark, you send it all in one. So like you send it off of Schism because it's a dark, and then you turn off something. So just in one summon on your opponent's turn, you negated a card they had permanently, and they lost a card all in one. So it's a 2-for-1, which is really just nuts. I love this card. I wish it had a higher rarity. I wish it came in an ulti. Oh my god, or a secret rare or something, dude. Really, probably the MVP. Then we want to run one Ash Dragon, one Entis, and then the card that I cut Kaliga for, and the second Entis, because I realized you only need one Entis, because this other card that I run, you can just shuffle this back. Last card I run is Omega, not Lambda, Jesus Christ. Omega, because the recycle effect, this can recycle any of your Shaddolls back from your graveyard back to your deck. So this could be pretty much my second aerial if I wanted it to. This could be my third construct, because I know a lot of people like to play 3 constructs, which I really wish I had room, because if I wasn't going to play Kaliga, I would play third construct, because the third construct does come up in certain times in a grind game. It really freaking does, I'm telling you right now. So I wanted a spot to where I could have flexibility. So I was like, okay, do I take a card that I'll barely probably use, as in Kaliga, unless I'm in like a serious situation, I don't have nothing, my opponent stopped me and I need to slow them down 100%, or do I want a card that's flexible and can do anything I need it to? Like I run Omega not just because of the recycling effect, but also if my Meltdown gets ashed, I can just synchro this, and since they used Ash, that means they have 4 cards in hand if I went first, and I can just use Omega to rip another one out of their hand, so they have 3 cards, so they start their turn with 4 cards, so I could potentially hinder their combo with this. On top of that, he's 28 beat stick, and he helps me shuffle whatever I need back. So he, like I said before, he could be my second Entist, my third construct, my third Ab Cologne, my third window, and whatever in my main deck too. It just shuffles it back, and it helps you play in the grind game. So in that regard, that's why I chose to run Omega. But if you don't want to run Omega, that's perfectly fine. You can run a third construct. You can run Kaliga if you see fit. Yu-Gi-Oh is literally all up to personal preference. I'm just showing you what works for me and what I like running. You choose from there whether or not you want to run it or not. But that is it for the main deck and the extra deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoy this deck. I think it has a potential to compete at the highest level this format, since some of the other decks kind of got nerfed that were the top decks. Obviously, we'll still have to deal with Eldritch, but that's fine. We have Aerial, we have Dragon, and we have a side deck. So, but I think it stands a good chance, and I think you should pick it up. Now, whether you play this variant or the other variant, that's all up to you. I'm not here to say really one is better than the other, because I like them both, honestly. It just depends. They have different matchups with different decks. My personal opinion, if this one, played that one, this profile played that one, whether it's my profile or someone's profile like mine, if the more Shaddoll heavy played the less Shaddoll heavy, I think the more Shaddoll heavy would win, honestly. Which I watched a PBG tournament where that actually happened, and the more Shaddoll one actually won, which was nothing out of the ordinary. But yeah, that's it for the video, guys. Be on the lookout for other content. If you're not already subscribed, please consider hitting the subscribe button and becoming part of the DDD fam. At the time of recording this video, we are at 290 subscribers. Let's try to get to that 300 mark. We're just growing as a family. Discord down the link below. PayPal down the link below too. Just become part of the DDD fam. Hit that like button, and you all have a wonderful day, night, morning, whatever, dusk, dawn. Whenever you're watching this video, stay safe out there. We're almost through the pandemic where we're at, so we'll get through it, and we'll get through as a family. Drip out. Peace.